Okie dokie. We are back with the Blofeld. I know I said I was going to do a million Behringer videos till the end of eternity. We will get back into doing more of those, but this is the new toy and I need to play with it because it's really cool, and all I can think about is coming up with crazy, weird patches on this thing at the moment. So we're going to get that out of my system, and then we can get back to doing a whole bunch of Behringer Pro Vs Mini stuff as well. So first things first, let's make some sounds. So I've initialized this patch here. Very boring, just one sawtooth, no filter, nothing going on. So let's change that and do some stuff. So we'll do a similar format to what we did last week. So we'll make probably 4, maybe 5 synth patches, bass, a pad or keys, lead, melody type of thing, and then something more abstract and weird, because the weird stuff is my favorite. But to start off, let's do a bass. Now, this little fella here can do all kinds of things really well. Can do virtual analog modeled stuff, can do FM sounds, and then of course wavetable, which is like its main thing, I guess. So today we're going to lean heavily into that. So to start off, I'm just going to play with this filter envelope a little bit more decay. Go into oscillator 1, and then we're going to set pulse width modulation amount to full, pulse width to 0, and the source will be the filter envelope. So now as we are perusing through these waves, the filter envelope, when we press a key, is going to sweep through the full length of the wavetable so we can get a good impression of what each wavetable sounds like. So let's have a go. I'm just going to drop the octave down too, because we'll start with a bass sound, so we sort of want to hear what these wavetables sound like in that sort of register. That's cool. Is that too aggressive? That's pretty cool. Let's try and shape the wavetable modulation a bit. So by adjusting this envelope, we just change the way that it moves through that wavetable. So we can add some attack. Might be a little bit too aggressive for a bass sound. That's cool. Organ synth. I'm going to change this to the PPG low pass, and we'll also use that filter envelope to do what it's supposed to do, which is modulate the filter. Turn this cutoff down. Bit of resonance. That's cool. I think I want the attack to be a bit faster though. Filter attack. I like that, but I don't want the filter to open up quite as much. So we can just take a bit of this envelope amount down. That's cool. You can hear there's a little bit of a click there on the note. It's actually on the release. So if we just add a tiny bit of release here on the amp envelope, that should take care of that, and just a bit of attack as well. Probably do the same on the filter envelope, just a bit of release so it doesn't snap back. It's pretty bassy. What about just a little bit of the drive? These drive circuits sound pretty cool. I like binary and sine shaper are some of my favorite ones. Oh, that's so gnarly. I don't know if that's really appropriate for a bass sound. It's sick, but I actually think that sound fits in better. What if we add a little bit of that drive, and then we add a second oscillator. Let's just add something really basic like triangle. Listen to that triangle on its own. That triangle though I'm actually going to send to the other filter because I don't want that to be affected by the filter sweep. Yeah, so that's just going to be like a really fundamental oomph underneath, and then we can slowly bring this more distorted top sound back in. That's cool. I think we're going to stick with that for now. So we'll just save that as good bass. Yes, there we go. All right, cool. Moving on. Next patch. Let's initial. Oh, Juanita. Sorry, Juanita. You are gone. All right. Now we want to do like a pad or something of that nature. Keys pad type of dealio. So again, we'll use the filter envelope to sweep through the wavetable. So you go pulse with 0, PWM amount, max, source, filter. And now let's scroll through some of these tables. That's interesting. I like that. see if we can do something with the filter also. That sounds cool. Maybe just back off that resonance a bit. Sounds pretty cool. It's sort of a muted type of sound. Why don't we just have an LFO on the pitch that slowly fades in. I like that. What if we just add a little bit of drive to just add a bit of texture? Alright, that's cool. Let's use that. We'll just leave that as initialized because it takes too long to type it out and we're on a tight schedule. Okay, so we've got this one and this weird bass thing. I think what I will do though is just turn the pulse width modulation down a bit so it's not quite as insane. Yeah, that's better. Save that. Alright, cool. Now we need something lead type of thing. Initialize. So let's get a really abrasive, disgusting wavetable for starters. And for this one, we're going to use the LFO to modulate the wavetable position. So down, up. Yeah. All right, cool. So now we can slow it down here, speed it up. Interesting. That's cool. Let's speed that up a bit. All right, that's interesting. All right, I want to play around with that sine shaper or whatever it was called in the drive section here. Sine shaper, yeah. Disgusting. Let's turn the oscillator down quite a bit. Also, I want to change the shape of this? What about a sawtooth? And then maybe the amount. And then if we change the actual pulse width, that'll change whereabouts in the wavetable it's modulating. That's sick, I like that. Ooh, that'd be cool if we could get it to do this. How we would do that is we can sand the filter envelope to control the speed of that LFO, and that way we can get it to ramp from slower to faster. Filter envelope. That sounds cool, but that's not what we're trying to do. LFO speed. We want it to just have a long attack. And maximum sustain. Ridiculous. Sweet, save that one. So just quickly looking back at what we got. The bass, good bass. And then this pad thingy. And then this abomination. All right, on to the next one. Okay, now I want a slow, long, evolving kind of thing for this. So we'll use the filter envelope, a long attack and decay. Set that to be the source of pulse width modulation, full amount, pulse width starting at 0, and let's have a listen to some of these wavetables. There we go. Just gonna bring the envelope release out too, so that note lingers. Not quite that much. Same with the filter, add some release. Try and go for something that's a little bit less in your face and abrasive, just because the other sounds are all pretty aggressive. Is that in your face and aggressive? That's cool. I want to use that. Let's do some filtering too. Bit of resonance. Go to the PPG LP. It's cool. Let's get this LFO to do something. Go to the mod matrix, turn the amount up, and let's just throw it to a few different destinations and see how that sounds. Oh, man, I'm a sucker for that sort of sound. Maybe just not as intense. Sweet. Let's do something with LFO2 as well. LFO2, arbitrary amount, and then try and play around with the destination. We hear something interesting. What about the pulse width? Oh, Jesus. Ah, that's cool. One other thing I might try is sending the key tracking to the speed of the LFO. Lower notes will be a bit slower and higher notes, the LFO will be a bit faster. Where's key track, LFO2 speed. Yep, and then we'll just mess with the amount. That's sick. Sick. All right. That's our sounds. Good bass. Good pad. Then there was this disgusting lead. We'll get just a couple of minutes left. I'm gonna add some pressure modulation here. Go to a free modulation slot. Let's go pressure, and I'm not too sure where to send that yet. Let's just test it out. So the amount up a bit. Oh, that's way too much. Pitch bend's kind of cool. Yeah, that's sick. What about if we also send it to... Is there any filtering going on in this? No. Maybe just a little bit more of a mount. Have a bit more control. It's a bit extreme. That's ridiculous, but we're gonna do it because it's fucking sick. Yep, and then there was this really crazy textural ambient nonsense. Might route the pressure in this one just to open that filter up a bit more. Check alpha 2 speed, so let's go modulation 4, pressure, filter 1, cutoff, F1 cutoff, yep, and amount. Sweet. Yeah. All right, so that's our sounds. And then next video, we're gonna try and bring them all together and make something cool using them. Is that possible? I don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll find out together.